spooky music, perfect for this one.
We've made a lot of interesting friends today.
Hopefully no ghost friends. Okay, so let's talk about the red.
Please turn your audio and your video on.
That was the ghost. Did you hear it? Talking to us through.
Was that a
the
phantom
TV
producer?
Screen. No, that was
terrifying.
a phantom ghost. Okay, so as we wrap up our Halloween special, we have to talk about one place that is considered to be one of Chicago's most haunted spots, and that is the Red Lion Pub right in Lincoln Park. The pub actually opened its doors in 1984, but its hauntings go back way further than that. Much of the area was once a cemetery, and that has a lot to do with it. For Confederate soldiers in the 1800s, many graves were then relocated, while some remain unmarked as the city developed. And here to talk to us about it is Colin Cordwell. He has owned the bar since he took over for his father, John, and joins us this morning by Zoom. Thank you so much for being with us.
Let's see, he might be up in a second.
His audio and his video isn't working, but this is really
Colin,
interesting.
Man, get the video and audio up.
What's crazy is that there are so many places, and I watched this not too long ago. There's a hotel, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's right here off of Lakeshore Drive.
It's Congress Plaza Hotel.
Yes, thank you. That is also considered to be haunted. There's a lot of places in Chicagoland that have been dubbed to be, you know, some of the most haunted. This is a beautiful bar.
Yeah, the Red Lion Pub. We're gonna have to ask him what the address is so everyone can go visit, because what an ultimate spooky place. I wonder if they're doing something a little extra.
I'm sure
for
they
Halloween.
are.
But talking about the Congress Plaza Hotel, actually I went there with Brendan when we were looking for wedding venues, and I get so spooked out that actually it was a beautiful space, and anyone from the Congress Plaza Hotel, you know, I don't mean any offense by this, but I was creeped out. I couldn't continue.
Of knowing that?
Because of knowing that, and just like I get certain vibes, you know, and I said, you know, it's beautiful, but no thank you, because I'm a scaredy cat.
Okay, so the Red Lion Pub is located at 2446 North Lincoln Avenue, right in Chicago. We do have the owner right now, Colin Cordwell. Thank you so much for your time and joining us today.
Thank you. I'm trying to turn up the audio so I can hear you.
It's okay. It's the ghost trying to interrupt our interview today, but they're not going to get the best of us on this Halloween. Can you hear us?
Barely.
Okay. All right. We're going to try our best. Maybe I'll try to. I don't know why that ghost is trying to interrupt our interview. This is even more spooky.
It really is. Well, multiple ghosts. We don't know which one it is.
What, if you can hear me, what are the most haunted areas in the pub?
The whole pub is haunted. You know, the building is new, so it was. I redid it about 13 years ago. I tore the old building down and put up a new building, and I wondered if the ghost was going to stay, and evidently it did. And I've had a number of instances that have happened since we've redone the place.
What are the instances? Tell us some of the incidents that have taken place.
You know, a few people have seen a blue light in various parts of the pub, and a couple of times, especially around Halloween, I've been closing the place up, and I'll hear something, you know, furniture moving around upstairs, and I'll go upstairs. There's no one there. One night I was closing up. It was 2 days before Halloween, and a chair pulled out from the table and hit me in the leg, and a breeze went past me, and I heard two glasses clink. Now, when the breeze went past me, I heard a low moan in it too. So I hadn't had anything to drink. So.
Wow.
Wow. So, Colin, I mean, you seem pretty relaxed talking about this. What did it take you a while to want to go back into the pub, or were you like, okay, you know, I'm going to have to take this in stride?
I've gotten used to it. It's almost like having a bar cat. You know, I'll be sitting. In fact, I'll show you the chair. I'll be sitting in this chair here at the end of the bar late at night, and the chair next to me will turn towards me.
Whoa.
And I'll just talk to it. I'll say, look, I've got to finish my paperwork, and then I'm going to take off. If you want to keep an eye on the place while I'm gone, please do.
Have you ever had any experiences, and I'm just asking this, I don't know what the answer is, where do you think any of these ghosts have followed you home, or are they mainly sticking in the bar? They haven't hopped in the car with you?
Ghosts haven't followed me home. I've had a couple of drunken guests who have followed me home, and I've had to drive them back to their original address. I don't serve any hallucinogenic stuff, but I've been in this business 48 years. Basically, what we are is I'm a psychiatric field medic. I get them in the front line while they're freshly wounded. Serving drinks and food is just a secondary, tertiary thing I do for a living.
Wow.
But my father, I'll tell you one incident. My father passed away. He was my business partner. We opened this place in 1984. He passed away in 99, and that's my grandfather on the left. And he showed up in a photograph upstairs in the old place at a party 4 years after his passing. I have the photograph at home, but at first I thought my customers were smoking, and the woman who took the picture said, "You better take a closer look at that." So I took a closer look at it, and you clearly see my father sitting next to him. You see the outline of his face, his glasses, his hat, his ascot, and he had his hand on a part of the lady which he shouldn't have had his hand on. So I knew it was my father.
How did you? I mean,
He was a dirty old man in life, and obviously a dirty old man in death too. I don't know what the rules are on the other side, but evidently he's not following them.
What about your patrons? Have any of your customers that come there, have they experienced anything beyond that blue light that you were talking about?
They have. I have a friend who was a child psychiatrist over at Lurie, and he was in with another psychiatrist and a nurse. You know, it's funny. I think it was the British writer Anthony Trollope said no two sets of eyes ever saw a ghost. Well, that's not true. I have 3 sets of eyes that saw one. Jimmy came out and he said, "You know, I'm not sure we didn't have a paranormal experience." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, we were sitting at the table, and all of a sudden we noticed this blue light up in the corner in the front room, and it came down and whizzed past our table. And we all saw it." And I said, "Well, you've seen something which a couple of other people have seen as well, but they've seen it in other parts too." The old building was very haunted, and as I said, I wondered whether it was going to hang around in the new place. When I was building the new Red Lion, I had a Polish electrician who came down one day. He says, "Is true about ghost?" I said, "Yeah, why?" He said, "I'm working by myself, and I hear persons walking up the stairs and around on platform upstairs." I said, "Come down. Nobody's allowed upstairs." No answer. I go upstairs. There's no one there. I pack my stuff. I never come back by myself.
I know that's right.
I think he was on
And his hair was standing up.
Really?
Wow.
Even a tough electrician
Was like,
scared.
I'm out of
Have
here.
you found, Colin, that now people are almost going to you for the ghost stories to have an interaction like this?
You know, there are times, ladies, I wish I'd never opened my mouth. I have people coming in and said, "Hey, I got my little girl here. Bring out that ghost. I want to take a picture of it." You know, it's like, no, it's off season. I think she's in Florida. You know? But ghosts operate on their own time and their own dimensions too. You never know what they're like. They're like cats. They come unbidden. You never know when they're going to show up.
Are you doing anything special there today for Halloween?
Not really.
Okay.
You know what? The whole place is like it's like a library museum. So people come in. It's like the Romans said, "Panem et circenses," give them bread and circuses. And usually I dress the place up, but I haven't had time. I've been very busy for the last 6 weeks, actually. So the place lends itself to kind of an eerie feeling, if you will, in some ways. It's not your standard pub, that's for sure.
Yeah, I bet if you go in there and there's not a lot of other patrons around that you're going to get a feeling, but they know you, so you might be safe. But, you know, my earpiece was breaking up a little bit, Colin, and Tia had mentioned that there were, you know, possibly seven ghosts hanging around. So have you kind of been able to realize, hey, that this is this ghost, that this might be a different person? Do they have their own personalities almost?
I've heard stories about my place that are absolute horse hockey. I don't know how many ghosts there are. I think there's two. Back in 1991, a lady came in. This was the old Red Lion, and she wanted to see the upstairs. And I said, "What's up?" And she said, "Well, this is like a trip down memory lane for me. My aunt lived up here for years, and my cousin passed away up here." And I pointed to the spot upstairs. I said, "She died right there, didn't she?" And she said, "Yeah, how did you know?" I said, "Well, that's where the cold spot develops."
Wow. Are there certain spots that people have these sightings more than anywhere else in the pub? Or is that hard to say?
You know, ladies, so I say, people said, "I've experienced something here." Oh, really? Well, usually it happens over there. I was in the kitchen about 6 months ago, and a plastic tub flew off the top of the refrigerator and sailed past my head. And usually it doesn't get violent with me, but it must want it. They generally want to let you know that they're on premise. I was talking to someone behind. I was behind the bar. I was talking to someone, and my glasses started sliding down my nose, like this. And I turned around. And I said, "Will you knock it off?" And it stopped. So.
Hopefully the person that was there didn't think you were talking to yourself.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, I'm pretty direct when I talk to people. You know, sometimes I fashion myself as a ventriloquist sometimes, and I hire myself out at weddings. Usually when people get up there, they stumble on those two little words, so somebody's got to say them for them.
This is crazy. What do you think? I mean, most people that would be living with ghosts in this way, you're working with them, they would be terrified. They'd be like, you know, I'm throwing in the towel. You rebuilt the place thinking that maybe the ghosts would go away, and they're still there.
You know, it's an unintended draw, and I've had people come in and tell me their ghost stories that make mine look like nothing. I mean, serious stuff where people are falling over furniture that wasn't there 2 minutes ago and stuff like that. You know, you're waking up in the bed with somebody else and it's not your wife. But, you know, and then all of a sudden they disappear. Stories like that. And people still come, you know, they'll say, "I can tell you about this. You'll understand. But I can't tell this to other people. They think I'm nuts."
Okay, Colin, we're running out of time, but you know what? I think I'm not going to your pub for the ghost. I think I'm going to hear your jokes, because you're a pretty funny guy. I appreciate
funny.
you. Happy
You know,
Halloween.
the funny thing, ladies, is I talk like this naturally. Saki, the English writer, said for a man to become a first-class degenerate, he's have to have a first-class private education, which I've had. I've had it wrung out of me like a bar towel. So what you're stuck with is a bunch of metaphors and hyperboles and
I love
everything else.
Oh,
I love
boy.
it. It's time for a documentary on your place. The Red Lion Pub is located at 2446 North Lincoln Avenue. Make sure you guys go there and enjoy yourself. Happy Halloween. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy Halloween to everyone that's watching.
Happy Halloween to both of you, too, and to all of your viewers.
And
Thank
all of
you.
your ghosts as well. Have a great
Thank you.
weekend.
And those who
Two
are
can live as
cats.
cheaply as one.
Interesting. Oh, Colin.
Fun.
All right, this has been a great show.
It has
Thank you,
been.
everyone, for joining us, and we hope you have a very happy and safe Halloween.
Halloween.
See you next week.